Oh, Grisch is in the house. Hello, Grisch. We were just talking about you. Were your ears ringing?
Oh, did Grisch join?
Yes, he just
Awesome.
got in the live. So this, everybody, I just put his name up on the screen. You've got to go check out his channel. It's amazing. Yes, Grish, we were just talking. And if you want to call in, Grish, go ahead and email me. It's in the pinned comment, and I will go ahead and we'll have a little chit chat. Oh, we have another caller. Hello, this is
How you
Jackie.
doing?
How are
Jackie, it's
you?
Grish. How you? I'm good. How are you?
Nice to talk to you.
You too. This case is crazy, but it's like
It's
these people
crazy.
are not experienced like in breaking laws. Like Wendy's can practice law, but she doesn't have practice in breaking laws. None of them do.
Yeah, they were
And
very
so
sloppy.
it's like super sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
The owl is about sloppiness.
Can you
The
please
owl thing.
explain the owl to me? Because let me tell you, I've heard so much about it, but I've never looked into it. Like, super. Because I don't like to talk about anything until I've spent like 100 hours doing research into it.
Okay.
Explain the owl, please.
Okay. In my next video, you'll see the whole visual for it, but like I'll explain it. So the owl, when there's a part in Luis's proffer where he says, he sees Wendi, he's driving around, and he sees Wendi, and he goes to Sigfredo, and he's like, "What is she doing up here?"
So I'm driving. Before I get to the bump, I'm looking to my rearview mirror and I ask Garcia, "Man, what's up with this lady? Why's she looking so much?" She's like, "Oh, that's that lady. That's Wendi." I'm like, "Oh, that's her name." I said, well, so, I'm like, okay, I seen the two kids. I said, what's she doing up here? What is she doing up here? Oh no, she came to make sure that everything's all right because he's leaving out of town tomorrow.
She knows that we're up here. What is she doing up here? And Sigfredo goes, she want to see if everything's all right with the kids. And that is not what you're supposed to say, okay? You're not supposed to have an answer. That's a big red flag. You're not supposed to have the details of what she's about. She should know to not be where you guys are. So that's strike one. So then the next day, he literally says it is proper. He's like, and then on the day of the murder is when I seen Wendi.
They didn't even know I was going in the ride unless the only one that knew was Katie. She knew I was in that car.
How did she know that?
Because he told her. He told her, I'm going with Tato. They call me Tato. So I think I'm going with Tato. So I said, I asked him who knows. He goes, no, it's just Katie. I said, that lady knows I'm in the car. He's like, nobody knows, just Katie. But in my instance, I didn't trust him that day. I'm like, somebody else got to know. Because if you told Katie had to tell that lady. Because, that day of the murder, when I seen Wendi, that's when I asked him, who's that lady? And he said, that's Wendi.
And I was like, oh, that's her name, right? So when after pressing Sigfredo a couple times about him having a more closer relationship with Wendi or knowing Wendi and not telling him, that's a problem. It's too much for me to explain why that's a problem, but it's a big problem. And so,
well, he's lying to Luis about what he knows. He's bringing him up there and not giving him the full story.
Right. And Luis, the reason why Luis was brought on is because Luis is the eyes and ears of those kind of moves, okay? So, like, Sigfredo is 100% violence. He doesn't sell nothing. He doesn't do anything. He just shoots people. He's that type of person. And so those kind of guys you have to tell him where to go and do whatever. He takes direction, so he knows he can't do it by himself. And so all the inner workings and who's who and what's what, he gave that responsibility to Luis. And Luis is not getting all the information, so he's mad about it. But he doesn't want to back out of the whole thing because he knows Sigfredo is only doing this to get the approval of Katie, right?
Yep.
So what happens is after they do what they do at 10:51 a.m. on July 18th, they backed out. He drove down the street back toward like Thomasville Road, and he hit the speed bump, and he saw Wendi again.
Stop.
And
the day of?
The day of. He says it, but he says it in a certain kind of way that you gotta be on that frequency to know it. And I was like, oh, she was there.
They didn't even know I was going in the ride unless the only one that knew was Katie. She knew I was in that car.
How did she know that?
Because he told her. He told him.
He said it, but like none of the people in the room really caught it.
Right.
But he said it. And then he made it seem like, oh, I posted the owl on the Thursday.
Threw a picture of the owl, like I told you. Posted on Instagram.
He saw an owl, a bird. I don't know what kind. It sounded like a barred owl, maybe, that landed in the parking lot at the hotel and
took a picture.
Scared him.
And what happened after you took a picture? What you did?
I took a picture and put it on Instagram.
And then what happened?
Katie calls Doodle. Tell him to take that shit down. If he's stupid or what. So, I'm like, well, I took it down. I don't know if I took it down right away, but I took it down. So she like, why would he do that? He can't tell nobody where he's at. And in my mind, y'all be talking on the phone all fucking day. What the fuck you worry about me putting the picture on Instagram? Yeah, I put it on Instagram. She called in and told him to take it down. So I took it down.
Nah, he posted it on Friday because when he drove and he hit the speed bump, he saw her again the second day in a row after he grilled Sigfredo and said, what is she doing up here? So there's a rule of thumb with certain types of things, and it's if you have an intermediary and that intermediary shares details about the other side to you, you have to expect that other side to know more about you than you know about them.
Yes,
so
great
to
point.
level that, the only way that Luis, because all right, at that time there's like Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff, and Luis said in his proffer he was worried that she would see him and know who he was, and Isom said, but you got tinted windows, and Luis is like, it doesn't matter because you see a big tall guy and you know his real name. All you have to do is go on social media and see the little guy and know that's me.
You ask him, he says that's Wendi. She's making sure that we're going to do this or whatever.
That she wanted to make sure that we was up there. She thought that we were lying, that he was lying. Cause they don't even know I'm in the car until she seen me that day.
Yeah, but your car's got tinted windows. Does she even know what kind of car you guys are in?
That car, not even tinted. Like, you can see through it. It's like, you can see it. It's tinted, but not dark like people think.
Right, but she wouldn't know you from Adam's house. She wouldn't know you from anybody.
Yeah, she don't know me from anybody. But you can see you got a little short guy in a car like this, the lucky driver like this, and you see Garcia. Garcia's on the passenger side. So she looked and then he looked. Like, that's what caught my attention. Like, what's up with this lady looking at the car? So they know she wanted to make sure that we was up here. I guess Katie had told him everything.
So if he's thinking ahead in terms of this woman's probably looking us up on Facebook and knows everything about us. So what he does is when he sees her, he notices that she has an owl on her shirt. So he posts the owl to see the reaction that comes back from his post from the other side through Katie.
Fuck. Oh,
you get me?
God. Yes. See, that makes a lot of sense. Wow.
Gangster, gang. Like, he is super gangster, all right?
Yes,
and
yes.
today,
very street smart.
No one else has caught that. He checked her so bad. That's why Charlie answered the door for Katie with a gun in his hand.
On the night of the murder, did you go to the defendant's house?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And where was that house, or what house was that?
That was in Whale Harbor in Fort Lauderdale.
All right. And did you get payment for the murder that night?
I believe it was the following morning.
Were you in a panic when you arrived at his house?
Was I in a panic?
In a panic.
I wasn't in a panic, but Charlie was.
Okay, explain that. How was he acting?
When I opened the door, he was kind of frantic and he had a gun in his hand and he was just all over the place.
Was that normal behavior for him?
Not having a gun in his hand, no, ma'am.
All right. Did you know him to have a gun prior to that?
Yes, ma'am. He has a gun safe.
All right. But he just didn't usually carry around in his hand?
Yeah, he's never had it in his hand.
What was he saying to you when he was in this frantic state?
I can't really recall because he had given me some Xanax. So it was a little blurry that night. And, I just fell asleep. I think we both fell asleep. So.
All right. Can you tell the jury whether the excitement that he was showing had to do with the murder or something else?
Yes, ma'am. It had to do with that.
Okay.
Because he basically said through his Instagram, "I saw you, bitch."
Wow. See, that makes way more sense to me than, anything else. Because, everybody's like, does Tato mean owl? And, like, owl means death. And, I feel like all that stuff, like, obviously is super valid. But that is, like, mind-blowing.
Well, look, in that part
Mind-blowing.
owl is buo. B-U-H-O. Buo. It's not tuto, it's not tato. It's buo. It has nothing to do with a bird of prey. It's about what was identifiable to Luis when he saw her that can verify, I saw you at this time wearing that damn owl shirt. You thought you were slick by wearing green, khaki shorts, and black shoes the color camouflage and coming through the woods and watching us do this thing. That's why when Sequoia called and said, it's done, Katie said, I know.
Yeah, he called and told her it's done. Everything's done. I think way before we done that gun or after we done the gun, but show 100%. He called and said, "Hey, it's done already."
Do you hear her on the other end?
Yeah, I can hear her. She goes, "Okay, I know, all right."
Okay, I know, all right.
Like I'm like, yo, how the fuck does she know? Like, how would she know if this shit done?
But it's Katie's voice.
Yeah, it's Katie's voice. 100%. It's Katie's voice. He can't call Wendi. I don't know her voice. I know Katie's voice.
Yes. Oh my God. My head is like throbbing. Holy shit. All right. They want you to repeat that.
Repeat it?
So basically, Luis sees Wendi the day of, right after they killed Dan. She's there. And Charlie even kind of slips up and says this in one of the jail calls. He says, he makes, I don't remember exactly the exact words he says, but he says something like, or maybe they're there already and they see it. And then he like kind of tries to switch it up because he realizes what he's saying. He's like you're in a restaurant and you already see this happen.
He's showing up at the scene of the crime. I had somebody ask me that, like, a couple of years ago. It's like, did that really happen? Like, I could trust me. Like, nobody did. Like, she showed up. They're like, man, that's like 1 in a million. Yeah. And I go, yep, got to be a part of it. She's showing up at the, they always say, like, an expression. It's like, you showed up at the scene of the crime. Right. Like they always use it in like detective movies and like right. It's a lie. Like you're at the scene of you showed up at the scene of the crime, but you didn't know anything. Like
people start a fire and then they show up to watch it. I mean, it's just been on TV forever.
Pulling up at the scene 30 minutes later. Or even like being there while this actually happened.
Right.
Like sitting in the restaurant while this happened. And like, it's one of those things where you go like, okay, like, this guy's getting that this is happening. Manhattan's a big city. Okay, why the hell was this guy here? You could say, well, he was eating dinner the same night at the same restaurant. Okay, maybe. But, like, he was going someplace. He was going to a liquor store, past 4 liquor stores, took alternate routes, and ended up right there at that time. Like, that's a good story.
Yeah, so
Right.
Luis sees Wendi the day of the murder after they kill her.
Right.
Is a theory, and then he posts, and I doubt it was a picture that he took. I'm sure he pulled it on.
Now,
What do you think? Do you think he actually saw the owl, or just posted a picture of an owl?
Yeah. If you drive past someone and you hit that big speed bump right on Dan Martell Street, she was right there, and there's an opening to get to that apartment complex at Thomasville Road,
right through the woods there.
There's a little path that goes through there, and there was no fence back there. Shout out to True Crime Wife who let me know that, because I saw the fence when I was looking. I was like, I hope this fence wasn't here back then, and it wasn't. You can get right through there. It's 307 feet from the place they parked their car, because they parked the car on Wednesday in the afternoon at 2055 Thomasville Road. Yeah, I know all the addresses. I'm an almanac, and they went through and cut through a couple days before the shooting. So it's in the probable cause affidavit for Sigfredo. Now, Wendi, to verify this, to get extra to proof to show that I know that she was there, is that if you look at her call records for July 18th, she's calling everybody. She's calling this person, that person, this person,
everyone,
and then it stops at 10:22. And on Fridays, from her address to the 2055 Thomasville Road, where the apartment complex is, for her to drive from her house to that apartment complex, get out, walk the 300 feet to get to that speed bump area on Dan Street, it takes 14 minutes. So
there's a whole hour missing. There's a whole hour missing in the call detail records for her. Holy shit.
So remember this, all y'all, when they say Wendi went to the crime scene, remember, I'm the only person that told you Wendi didn't go to the crime scene. She went back to the crime scene.
Wow. Holy shit.
And I that's one of the things that I can almost 90%, 99% guarantee you that's what she did.
My mind is like beyond blown. See, now I figured out, I had a theory that, when he saw her the day before, because everybody's like, oh, it was a case of mistaken identity. And honestly, when I was just like casually watching the trial and they went to that like stipulation of fact of like, this is when the kids were dropped off, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he didn't see her. And then I went back and listened to it all again. And I'm like, okay. Because Rashbaum tries to say, oh, you went there in the afternoon to Luis, obviously, like trying to throw off the whole timeline. Mm-hmm. They weren't there in the afternoon the day before. They went every single morning, early in the morning, sat there and waited for Dan to leave. Dan's leaving his house at like 8 o'clock in the morning with the kids. All right. He's like 13 to 15 minutes away from the preschool, from his house to the preschool, depending on what traffic is like. So Wendi
Yep.
had the kids the night before on that Wednesday, because they do week on, week off with the Wednesday overnights at the other parent's house. And then she could have 100% been there Thursday morning with those two boys and still made it to preschool by the time that she was supposed to make it to preschool. And honestly, she has the excuse of, if she has the two boys, then she says, oh, well, I just, Ben forgot something or whatever, we had to come over here and get it, if she gets caught by it.
Yep.
But something that also made me think that, yes, she probably walks down Trescott frequently is Jeff says in one of his interviews, and somebody just mentioned this in the chat, but Jeff says, Dan accused her of stalking. He looks out the window this one time and sees that she doesn't have the kids. And he's like, hey, if you don't have the kids, I should have the kids because I get first right of refusal. Right. Well, where else would he be looking out the window to see Wendi walking by? It wouldn't be at the college because they would both be working. So, he wouldn't assume that she would give him the kids or that he could even watch the kids. So it had to been outside of Trescott.
Yeah. Wendi is super sloppy. I don't care how pretty people think she is.
She's
anything
not.
Like that.
Nobody thinks
Wendi is, well,
nobody
I
here.
heard Tim Jansen said she was mesmerizing. I'm like, hold up, bitch. You got colored contacts are the first time someone's about to lie to you. And I just, I'm sorry. If you got colored contacts, I mean, I said what I said. That's how I feel. If you got colored contacts, that studies show that there's a higher chance you might be getting lied to. So,
because it blocks your eyes. It
you don't
blocks,
really see that person's spirit like that.
Yes, exactly, 100%.
The thing that really it kind of low key broke my heart. So when I heard Dan's voicemail to Wendi at 9:04 a.m., that hurt.
I know.
I listened when Wendi asked him. I think it was on July 6th. She texted, like, "Can I have the kids? Are you in Tallahassee?
Can I have them on the day that I'm already scheduled to have them?"
Correct. And you know what Dan replied? He said, "Yes, you can." He didn't answer Wendi when she asked him, "Will you be in Tallahassee on these days?" He only answered to that she could have the kids on those days. So I'm like, Dan is. I see. One thing that I'll never do, if you ask me where I am, I'll never tell you. I'll just be like, I'm around. I don't tell people where I am because I don't want you to know where I'm not. So it's a habit that I've had to break. It's a bad habit, like my girlfriend's like, will you be home or not? And I'll just be like, I should be around. And that comes off really crazy, but I don't tell people where I am. When Dan said I felt that I was like, oh, he's not going to tell her where he is or where he will be. So he's on to her. But then when I heard him, that long voicemail, I'm going to be at the gym. I'm going to do this. I was like, oh. And then I went back to that call report and I saw that blink spot from between 9:04 and 9:12. You know who she's calling? Sigfredo from the burner.
Fucking insane.
She didn't call Charlie till after 9:12. So when she got that voicemail at 9:04, she got on the phone to the person who needed to know that information. And it's not Charlie.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. My mind is blown.
About the owl thing?
Yes.
It's Luis is gangster.
I know. I love Luis.
Luis he's a gangster's gangster.
And everybody says they can listen to you all night.
Listen to me?
Yes.
Not me.
Yes, you.
They didn't say that.
Yep, they said it.
They said they can
Lucy Lou. Oh no, we can listen to Grisch all night on this case. This is Grisch. He has go to his channel. I'll post the link again. Amazing. No, I was so blown away because like a bunch of people were telling me, they're like, oh, have you ever heard of Grisch? I'm like, no. And then everybody's like, you don't know who Grisch is? I'm like, I don't, I'm sorry. And then I went and I watched the part 8 first, and I was just like, holy God. Like, I mean, insane. Like,